Cowbird by Jae Ess. Chapter 18. The Drive. I can't believe what I'm hearing. None of what Sam is saying seems real. Me, Cowbird, King Leon's only child, and the Princess of Ratonia? Perhaps, under different circumstances, I'd be thrilled to know my true identity at last. But to learn it now, when I'm being pursued by Kurtzrift terrorists who want to see me dead, the implications are absolutely terrifying. My whole world seems plunged into chaos, and I don't know anything anymore. Not about myself or the people I thought were my friends, least of all about this man sitting in front of me. You killed Harrison? Why? To protect you, Sam answers with grim stoicism. On the day of the party, I spied him sneaking around the rim of the property with his gun, and I trailed after him. When he started setting up his sniper rifle, it became obvious you were the target. So I killed him. How? With a crowbar. I wince. His rifle was new, a model that can be purchased only in Kurtzrift. I searched his body and found his passport had been stamped only the day before at the border, and a blank receipt for a deposit of 50,000 Ratonian dollars. That's when I heard you coming. There wasn't time to move the body. All I could do was hide in the bushes. I regretted that you had to see such a grisly sight. After you raised the alarm, I knew I had to get him out of there before the police could start digging up the truth of Harrison's identity, and yours. I was able to hide him while everyone searched. Then I came back to bury the body. I thought it would be a good idea to bury him deep, throw some extra dirt on him together with some old tires, just for a blind. I never expected I'd have to use it on you. So, that night, you were telling me I really was digging up Harrison's grave with my bare hands? I'm afraid so. I shudder, feel I'll be sick. A few minutes of tense silence pass between us before I can finally speak. Then, I'm guessing the fact that you know all this means you're some kind of secret agent? I am a member of the Royal Secret Service. I guarded the king before I was transferred here after Earl decided he was getting too old to protect you properly. Then, Earl too? He was your bodyguard, yes. For more than 20 years. My eyes water, burn with tears. I loved Earl. He was always so kind to me. Don't tell me, just like Harrison. He only got close to me because the king was paying him. I don't think so. I didn't know him long, but I got the impression he really cared for you. More than that, even. He thought of you as his own daughter. I'm relieved to hear it, and I'm grateful. In his own friendly, humble way, Earl was more of a father to me than Dwayne Porter ever was. Tell me, I say, wiping my tears away quickly. Did the king know my life was in danger from Harrison Squire? From what I gather, no one suspected treachery from Squire. After I got rid of him, I telephoned my superiors in Solaria. Let them know he may have been bought off by Kurtzrift. They warned me to be especially on my guard against future attacks. Shortly after that, another agent showed up and tried to strangle you. Father's so-called a kidnapper. I knew he was trying to kill me. He had no identifying papers, but his intent was clear enough, as was his nationality, as you two observed. Yes, I muse, sitting back in my seat, feeling exhausted and overwhelmed by this entire conversation. Kurtzrift. It's incredible to imagine so many complete strangers want me dead. My guess is they've been planning King Leon's assassination for some time, and that of his only heir. But I thought no one knew of my existence as the king's bastard. That's true. Your existence has been kept secret from the first day, but it's clear they were tipped off by someone, Perhaps Squire gave them the information himself. And now they want to get rid of me. It's all so crazy and unbelievable, and all happening so incredibly fast. I learned the truth about my father the same day I become an orphan, and Kurtzrift's most wanted. Sam, what does it all mean? They don't actually expect me to be queen now my father's dead, do they? I'm not sure. Your uncle will know more. My uncle? Cecil Patel. He lives in the capital, serving on your father's cabinet as Minister of Interior. I wilt a little more with this news and stare out the blackened window. I've heard of this person, of course, seen his pictures in the papers, but I never could have imagined. I have an uncle, a real blood relation, and a cousin. Well, yes, the king's niece, Lillian Patel. She's so fashionable, I muse, still in a daze. I always see her pictures in the magazines. We drive a little ways before Sam pulls over suddenly and puts the car in park. The rain is pouring so hard on the roof I can hardly hear my own thoughts. I can't see a thing in this deluge, he practically has to shout back at me. It's too dangerous to drive any farther right now. Then he surprises me by hopping over the front seat and coming to sit beside me in the back. He rummages around for a minute, then a flashlight clicks on. Let's see your leg. A little self-consciously I lift my skirt to show him where the bullet scraped my outer thigh. His face is grim as his hot hand presses my skin. We got lucky. It could have been a lot worse. You don't know how lucky, I say, holding up the leather bag to show him the bullet hole. This was pressed against my torso when the bullet hit. Sam blanches, swallows hard. Then he reaches in the first aid kit for alcohol and bandages. Hold this. He gives me the flashlight and I shine it on the bullet wound. Are you hurt anywhere else? I consider the rest of my body, my feet. They are wet and freezing, but I think the socks protected me from any serious pokes or scrapes. I don't think so, I say, hissing as he applies the alcohol. He blows on it a moment, then tapes a bandage over the injury. What about your hands? My hands? He startles me by grasping my left hand and inspecting it carefully. They're fine, I say, my face suddenly afire. Thank God, he murmurs. I'd never forgive myself if... I can't understand. Why should he be so worried about my hands? Unless... The piano? I inquire a little shyly, and Sam's gaze meets mine. He nods faintly. You liked my playing that much? You weren't just guarding me because you had to? I've spent a lot of hours guarding a lot of people, he answers seriously. But I never spent them so leisurely as when I was listening to you play. Ah. I feel confused, all twisted up inside. And yet there's a certain part of my life that suddenly makes so much sense. Sam's behavior. All this time, he's seen me not as Dwayne Porter's daughter, but as the princess he was being paid to protect. It explains his insistence upon formality and politeness. It explains why he was always close by whenever I was in danger. And it explains his reluctance to enter a romantic relationship with me. Or does it? I don't know how much of the time we've spent together recently has been just a job to this man. I can't even begin to imagine how he feels about me. But I know how I feel about him. Why are you helping me right now? I ask him. Because it's your job? It is my job. I can't deny that. But that doesn't mean... What? He starts to reach for my hand, then pulls himself back, shaking his head. Now isn't the time for this. Right now I've got to focus on getting you safely to the capital. And then what? You'll drop me off like a parcel and I'll never see you again? He winces. I scoff, turning my tear-blinded gaze out the window. You're so damned professional. A minute of silence passes between us. Even the rain has slowed to a light patter. Sam flicks the flashlight off, but he doesn't go to the front seat. He stays behind me. I can almost feel his breath on the back of my neck as he finally answers me. You're right. I am professional. I'm a very serious man who's never thought of anything but his work. Professionally, that's all this ever was. A job. My shoulders screw up with hurt at his words, and my tears continue to fall helplessly. I don't think there's anything in all this world that could stop him right now except... But personally, says Sam, and I feel his arm circle around me as he pulls my back against his front. I feel his chin on my shoulder, the side of his face pressed against mine as his chest rises and falls sharply behind me. This is the first time for me, falling for someone. Not just a client. The goddamned princess. I can hear the conflict in his voice, his inner turmoil, and I start to believe it wasn't my imagination. That all this time, Sam really has cared for me, not just as someone he was paid to protect, but as a woman. My heart is beating so hard. I'm sure Sam must feel it as he continues to hold me. Whatever happens from here, he says, face pressed against the side of my skull, know that you matter to me, Francis. You matter a great deal. He releases me abruptly and climbs over the front seat to start the car moving again on the muddy road. Sitting behind him, he's left me reeling. There's a blanket under the seat. Wrap up and try to sleep, he says, his voice a little dusky. It's a long drive to the capital. Not that long. A few hours by the main road. We're not taking the main road. We're taking the long way, thereby avoiding any Kurtzrift ambushes, I hope. How long is the long way? About 24 hours, if I don't stop to sleep. With fortitude and a little luck, I'll have you in Solaria this time tomorrow night. I don't lie down, but sit for a long time in the back seat, mind full and tumbling wildly, struggling to settle on even one coherent thought. Eventually, though, I grow weary, lulled by the white noise of the engine and the rain on my window. Finding the blanket and huddling beneath it, I lie down on my left side, leaving my injured right leg on top, and I fall into an uneasy, fitful slumber. At some point, Sam stops the car and gets out. I sit up, immediately awake, and leave the car. Francis, get back inside. You'll be soaked. Something the matter? Out of gas, he says. It's fine. I've got a can with a few gallons in the trunk. Reassured, I head back inside, shivering in my rain-soaked socks. When he finally comes back, he starts the car up again and we're off once more down the dark road. You're prepared for everything, I say. The first aid kit and the flashlight, a blanket and even extra gas. It was always in the back of my mind, the possible need for a sudden getaway like this. I tried to be prepared for it. I don't suppose you brought an extra pair of socks, I say, shivering as I peel the wet garments from my feet. Sorry. It's all right. He hesitates a moment, then says, I can give you mine if you'd like. I laugh a little through my chattering teeth. No, thanks. Try and get some sleep. I lay back down and shiver beneath the blanket, feeling damp and a bit miserable, my thigh aching and stinging with every little motion. But I'm sure Sam is just as miserable, I remind myself, as I stare ahead into the darkness of the cab for what feels like eternity. and he's not complaining. I don't remember falling asleep, but I guess I do. This time when I wake, the sky is faintly gray with dawn. I sit up, a little surprised to see the car has stopped. Sam is outside with the hood pulled back, checking out the engine with a flashlight. He comes back inside with a weary sigh. Problem? Engine trouble, he says. Something you can fix? Not without the part. Where are we? Is there a town around here? Not sure. There's a farmhouse up ahead. I'll see if someone can point the way to the nearest town. What should I do in the meantime? Just wait here. Sam turns back and I see some of his features faintly illuminated by the dawn. He looks exhausted, I think, with a pang. No, he murmurs. That won't do. For now, come with me to the farmhouse. If they're good people, you can stay there while I go into town. And what about you? I ask anxiously. You'll collapse at this rate. I'll be fine. You have to sleep sometime, Sam, I point out stubbornly, and he gets just the faintest smile as he meets my eyes. We'll see what we can do. My socks are somewhat dried, and I pull them on my icy feet, bracing myself for the long walk. But to my surprise and alarm, Sam insists on carrying me. He is stubborn in spite of my protests, and in the end I feel I have no choice but to hop on and let him carry me piggyback through the drizzling rain. On brisk footsteps he clears a quarter of a mile. The farmhouse is still at least that far away, and his sides are heaving with exercise. See, I say, face flaming with embarrassment. I told you I was too heavy to carry. Nah, just need to lay off smoking. Put me down, I can walk. Anyway, I'm sure there'll be some nice old lady who will lend me a new pair of socks when we get there. Speaking of nice old ladies, he stops walking a moment to adjust his hold on me, and I squeak as he lifts me a little higher on his back. In this situation, when we're dealing with strangers, it will be better if we pose as husband and wife. It will raise less suspicion than two people our age traveling on our own. They won't buy it. I don't even have a ring. There's one in my breast pocket. Go ahead and get it. More of your planning ahead, I ask, feeling around his chest with sensitive fingers, trying not to think about how hard his muscles are. Just a precaution. With a faint thrill, my fingers light upon the little gold band, and I slip it on my ring finger. A perfect fit, I say, admiring the ring with secret delight. How did you manage that? Sam clears his throat. I might have borrowed a ring or two from your jewelry box to have it custom ordered. You mean you paid for it yourself? He clears his throat again a little impatiently. We'll change our names from here on out. Call ourselves Mr. and Mrs. Newman. You'll be Florence. Why Florence? That's sort of a rule for aliases. It's easier to remember your new name when the first initial is the same as your own. Then I'll call you Simon, I decide after a moment's consideration. But Sam shakes his head. I'll be Walter. I already have identification papers prepared with that alias. Won't it be hard to remember when it's got a different initial? You forget this is my job. I change identities the way another man changes shoes. My heart thuds a little painfully at his words. Then, are you saying your name isn't Sam? Sam Withers is an alias, the name they gave me at the home office for this job. Then, what's your real name? I can't tell you now. You'll get it mixed up with my false identity. While we're here, just call me Walter.
Maybe you'll be lonesome too, lie the ocean in a silver plate, see the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember till you're home again, you belong to me, you belong to me, you belong. to me.